where do you find good information about the core stuff of Christianity? What do we mean? How do we know? And what difference does it make? As a Baptist minister, I've summarised it onto just one page for you. In this series, I'll walk it through so that you can make a well-informed decision about life's core stuff. Welcome to the one-pager. I know at first this looks like a lot, but it's not so bad when you consider that here on just one page is enough good information for you to be sure about life's most critical realities, the core stuff, the essentials that lie at the core of Christianity without all the extras. Stuff about God, us, Jesus, this life, the next life, stuff that bears thinking about. Because whitewater kayakers, they're always reality checking about the hazards ahead, about their gear, their skills, because it literally makes the difference between a great time or death. And likewise, we need to check the core realities about life and eternity. So what exactly are those realities? What do we mean? Well, these are laid out in these 5 rings, which happen to be the same colour as the Olympic rings. And they're the elements of an epic story. In fact, they're the story that all other stories are modelled on. All stories have blue, an author, white, a peaceful start, black, evil comes into the story, red, a saviour who saves the day, gold, the saviour brings new freedom, and then green, the community lives happily ever after. Now, all these stories come from the super story of life's core realities. Blue means that there's a creator. White is that he created things good. Black is that pretty soon selfishness and sin come into the story and we need a saviour. Red. And the 2 arrows there talk about the law and the prophets pointing towards that saviour. The purple X talks about Christmas, Christ, that Messiah who comes and shows us how to love God and love people and then goes to the cross to die for us, that sacrificial act that saves us. And then he rises from the dead bodily, showing that he did save us. He puts his spirit in us, which gives us a new freedom in the way that we live. And then the green talks about that new community that we can live in now and forever. They're the 2 red arrows. Okay, so how do we know that these core realities are true? Well, stemming from each of these circles are some basic details answering how do we know that they're true and what difference does it make? For example, how do we know that there's a creator? Well, we'll be able to look at good reasons from science, reason, religions, experience, and history. And how do we know there's bad stuff and what and who lies at the heart of our problems? And we'll find that the Bible is really realistic about that stuff, so we better have a look. How do we know that the Bible is actually reliable revelation from God? And we'll find there are answers there from historical manuscripts and archaeology and prophecies and that incredible storyline of the Bible as well. And we'll check, how do we know that Jesus is that Saviour and that He's divine? And what did He do? What did He teach? How does the cross work? What difference does that make? And how do we know He rose from the dead on the 3rd day? And what do we mean by His Spirit in us? And what kind of freedom is that? And what is this new community like with God and other people? How do we grow in these relationships? And how do we go and share that with other people? So this might look a lot, but it's exactly the information that I was looking for. And it's all on one page so that I can easily find and zoom in to some reliable answers to these core things in life. Now, this is a super story of biblical proportions. Well, it is the Bible, after all. It's a complete story. It covers all of history from creation to the end of time and on to eternity. And it includes all people, one way or another, including you and me. And if it's a true story, then the Bible should fit with all truth from all fields of knowledge. And that's a way to reality check it. But you know, after a while, I realized that the Bible is actually the reliable way to reality check everything else. So as it says, God's way of putting people right with Himself has been revealed. And here it is, introduced reliably on just one page. So next time, we'll look into the blue ring. How do we know there's a creator? From science. So join me then on the one pager, where reality checking life's core stuff makes sense.